So now we don't have any grammar. That's the good news. We're done with the grammar book. So we're going to get right into the Supreme Court case you guys are working on. I have questions though, because I was looking at the Google Classroom and well, Tyler, I only saw
Hey, it's submitted now. It's
three
submitted now.
people.
It's submitted now.
Let me refresh. Let's see.
It's submitted now.
All right. I still think, okay, so here's, okay, it is there. Ryan, Reagan, and Abby. Good job.
Goody two
I,
shoes.
goody two shoes. You're included, Tyler, now. No, you guys are good. But Ryan and Ramsey, I don't see yours yet, or Dominic. So let's see. Yeah, it's not there yet. So where are you at, Ryan and Ramsey? Did you get a chance to do research yet? Are you putting it in the chat? Okay. So can you unmute and tell me, did you look into three different Supreme Court cases?
Yeah, I did. Brian didn't though.
Oh, you're tattling on Ryan now. So, did you put them in the doc though? Did you write them in there or copy and paste them in there?
I will right now. I didn't know how to.
Wait, say that again?
I said I will right now.
Oh, okay. Because it's really important you guys have this ready to go because you're going to start writing this week and you're going to need those links. And the reason why I had you put them in that doc is that so you can find them again. Because then you don't have to be like me and have 50 tabs open all at the same time. So you can have a place where you collect your links.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I had 3 too. I just need to put them in.
Okay. All right. So, how about you, Dominic? Did you get a chance to research and find Supreme Court cases?
I haven't found all three yet, but I do
Okay.
know. I'm pretty sure I'm doing. I think it's the Second Amendment with the firearms.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is just look at these. The reason why I had you guys find three was so that we can make sure everybody in this class chooses different cases so that when we present on the last day of class, we get to hear about all different kinds of cases. They're not all the same, right? We don't want to all write the same ones. So, and I just pulled up yours first, Tyler, because it was first on the list there. But what of these three cases, you have District of Columbia v. Heller. I see your hand. Go ahead, Tyler. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so now it shows up. So when I was adding this into Google Classroom, choice 3 was just blank except for the amendment. So I left like
Oh.
this big note about it and now it shows up.
Oh, I see it there. Okay, you're
But
fine.
out of them, I probably liked the first choice, District of Columbia versus Heller, 2008. I found
Okay,
that interesting.
you're interested in that one. Okay, that is a really interesting one. Um, Abby?
So for one of my cases, we looked on it was I forgot which thing it was. It was Constitution Center, and it didn't have the case.
Okay,
So we just had to leave that one blank because it didn't show any of the cases. Or
okay,
it didn't show that one case, but I got the other cases from that link.
okay. That's a good point. Remind me later if I forget to talk about that because you can use a different website if you need to. You don't
Oh,
have to use Constitution Center. You will use it for the amendment because it'll have the amendment on there. But as far as the case, you can use a different link. So, okay. So, is anybody else in this class interested in the District of Columbia v. Heller? Does anybody else, are you looking at that one too? It doesn't look like anybody's raising their hand. So I'm going to go ahead and give that one to you, Tyler. District of Columbia, which happens to be Washington, D.C. That's what D.C. stands for, is District of Columbia, in case you guys didn't know that. And V. Heller. And yes, that is a Second Amendment I'm writing this down. So that'll be the one that you'll be assigned. Okay, Tyler? All right. Let me check on, and I'll make sure to put a note in the Google Classroom about that so that you know which one. So I see on yours, Reagan, you had it for your second pick here. But which one are you hoping to do this one that's Kennedy v. Bremerton? Okay, does anybody else have that on their list as Kennedy v. Bremerton? Doesn't look like it. So hey, there you go. Kennedy, that's for you, Reagan. You can do Kennedy v. Bremerton. And that has to do with the First Amendment. So that's the one I'm going to assign to you. And I'll make a note of that in Google Classroom. And for Abby, okay, you've got 3 different ones. So which one did you think stood out to you, Abby, that you think you're interested in learning more about?
The Trinity Lutheran Church.
Okay. You can have it. I don't think anybody else has that one. Trinity Lutheran Church v. Comer, I guess, or I guess that's how you pronounce his name, Comer. And that has to do with the First Amendment. So I want to double check though on these. Tyler, Reagan, and Abby, did you check with your parent and make sure they approve these cases for you? Okay, Reagan says yes.
I actually researched it with my mom.
Perfect. So she's good. And then I see Tyler's thumbs up. Okay, good. Dominic, you were saying you were interested in the Second Amendment. Did you find a case that you are hoping to do? Like you have one that you're interested in?
Not yet. I'm
Okay.
still looking, and I have to get my grandma to look with me.
Okay. So it's really important that you do that maybe even today and turn that in because we're going to start writing on it and it's going to just be harder for you to catch up. So make sure you do that today. And then how about Ryan or Ramsey? Did you guys narrow it down yet to which one you're looking at?
Yes, I'm getting my 3 right now. I'm trying to put them on the Google Docs and turn them in.
Okay. So which
I have
one?
the one that I want to do.
Which one? Okay, tell me which one. Go ahead and put them in the Google Doc, but tell me what you guys are looking at so I can write it down too.
Like tell you which 3 I have, or
The one, like, what's your first pick? Like, after looking at those, which one are you most interested in writing about? Because you're going to just pick one.
it's Miranda versus Arizona. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like
Is that
M-I.
Ryan talking right now?
No, it's Ramsey.
Ramsey? Okay, tell me the first name on the case.
Miranda.
Oh, Miranda.
Yeah,
Miranda v. what?
Arizona.
Arizona. Have you ever heard of the Miranda rights before?
Not really.
Okay, that's an interesting one. I'm glad you picked that one, Ramsey. That has to do with the Second Amendment. I think it might have other amendments attached to it. Do you know what amendment it talks about in that case?
Not really. I haven't looked at it much yet.
Okay.
I said a
Miranda
little bit.
writes, oh, what did you say, Ramsey?
I said I just read a little bit of it with my mom.
Okay, okay. The Miranda rights are what the police say when someone gets arrested and they put them in handcuffs and they say, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you in the court of law. You guys might have seen that in a movie before or on some show, but those rights are called the Miranda rights, and it's because of that case. So that'll be interesting, Ramsey, for you to look at. It's a good one. All right. Dominic, I see your hand there. Did you have a question?
I forgot.
I
Where
have
do I go
mine.
to look at the court cases?
Okay, so you should go to constitutioncenter.org.
I'm at the one where it says Second Amendment, but I don't see where I have to go to look at cases.
Okay, so let me pull that up with you real quick. Let me pull that up and then I'll share my screen. Did somebody else have a question right now too?
I found the case that I want to work on.
Okay, good. Get back to this. Go ahead and tell me your case, Ryan.
Morse v. Frederick.
Spell the first one
Morse
and spell the last one.
Frederick.
Frederick. And do you know what amendment they talk about in that case? Or do you
Schools
know?
can limit student speech that promotes illegal activities.
First Amendment, then that's the freedom of speech. So, okay. There might be, so that some cases talk about more than one amendment, just so you guys know. Some of them are just about the Second Amendment or just about the First Amendment, but there might be other amendments that it mentions in there. So as you're researching, you'll keep track of that. Dominic, I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. When you go to constitutioncenter.org, it should look like this. And then you see a tab that says Constitution. Click on that. And then you can actually search by Supreme Court cases library over here under that list. Let me know if you see that.
I'm looking right now.
Okay, good. So here's a giant list, and on the left,
Okay, I see it.
you'll see the amendments. If you're interested in something that relates to the Second Amendment, the one that gives us the right to bear arms, or the First Amendment, or any of these amendments, you can select it, and then it'll narrow down the choice of cases. But you'll probably have to sit with your grandma, like you said, later, and then search with her and decide which case you want to pick. Okay. All right, so now everybody pretty much has their case figured out, and that's okay. Some of you are still figuring that out. That's okay. Get out a piece of lined paper. That's the next step. So I want everybody to get out a piece, just one piece of lined paper. And we are going to set up your keyword outline here. So go ahead and put your name up here like we used to do. And today is 5/5/26. Skip a line, and then I want you to go ahead and write the name of your case here. So District of Columbia v. Heller, Trinity Lutheran Church v. Comer. Put the name of your case here that I told you you're going to do. If you want me to remind you, you can ask me again, and I'll remind you which one you're going to get. Put the name of the case here. All right, skip a line. We're going to put Roman numeral 1, and I just want you to write introduction. If you guys have any questions in the meantime, raise your hand or unmute. Yes, Dominic?
Is it okay if I use a different site? Because this site is only showing one.
Yes, what amendment did you pick?
I'm doing the Second Amendment.
Okay, so here, let me show you another way to do it. Let me, the Second Amendment. Okay. Oops. Whoa, hold on a second. Go back to the top of that website, Dominic, and go back to the Constitution selection. And this time I want you to go down to amendments. Try
Okay.
that, okay? And then I want you to select the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. If you click on that bar, you good there?
Yes.
And then do you see where it says interpretations and debate?
Yeah.
Underneath that paragraph, click on that bar, and then scrolling down through here, you'll see some links to other Supreme Court cases. There's more than one here. There's a few. There's like,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
yeah, you can pick one of those. If you still don't see one that you're interested in, you can always Google it with your grandma later and type in something like Supreme Court cases with Second Amendment. And then that'll give you another list of options, okay? Just a couple different ways to search that. And then Reagan, did you have a question?
Yes, actually. While we were going through everything, I also found out that some of the, like if you'd find something at the Constitution Center, it wouldn't have it at the justia.com.
Okay.
So you might want to check that. Also, the real question that I was going to get to was, how would we, I know we're going to get to it, but how would we take, there's like multiple paragraphs of information for the Supreme Court. So many dictations and all the other stuff. How would
Yes.
we get it into 3 paragraphs?
Okay, great question. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you still have a question at the end, let me know, but I'm hoping I can answer it here. The introduction, we are going to use a template like we usually do from our binder. So I'm not going to have you write any numbers under Roman numeral 1. So we're just going to save that. Next week, we're going to focus on introduction and conclusion. This week, we're focusing on the body paragraphs. So Roman numeral 2, and we're going to do 1 through 8. And we're going to put 8 as optional. Okay, so 1 through 8. I know that seems like a lot. This is your big project at the end of the school year. This is your big final project. So you're going to need this room to write in facts. Okay. Let's put clincher at the end of that and topic up here. We're still going to include that on your paragraphs. Skip a line, Roman numeral 3. Topic clincher. Since we're toward the bottom of the page, I'm just going to use the back for Roman numeral 4 on mine. So go ahead and turn it over to the back. Roman numeral 4 is IV. And then 1 through 8 again. Clincher. Topic up here. And then we're just going to, for Roman numeral 5 is just a V. I'm just going to have you put conclusion, and we will use a template for that. That means a template is basically the piece of paper from our binder that has the format on what we're going to include in the conclusion. Okay, so we will use that when we get to that point next week. Okay, so going back to the front here. We got it all set up for our body paragraphs. That's what we're focusing on this week is 3 body paragraphs. In the first body paragraph, which is Roman numeral 2, this is where you're going to talk about the amendment. So you can put amendment and then whatever amendment it is, 1, 2, 10, 12, whatever your amendment is, put it here, amendment blank. Okay. And you're going to use the quote. I want you to put the word quote, Constitution. I'm going to tell you what I mean by this. Constitution Center .org. It's just a note for yourself because you are going to cut or copy and paste from constitutioncenter.org the actual wording of the Constitution amendment. So you should have amendment blank, quote, constitutioncenter.org. And let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to go back to, and you can do this if you want to try to do this at the same time. Go back to the constitutioncenter.org on another tab or another device. Click Constitution like we did last week and click Amendments in your drop-down menu. I'm just going to give you an example of the Second Amendment. If I'm going too fast, let me know, you guys. I'm just going to keep going until somebody stops me here. So I'm choosing the Second Amendment. And here's the sentence I'm talking about right here. Whenever you click on your amendment that your case is addressing, it's in the Constitution Center. So you will go to that amendment, and here it is. Here is the Second Amendment as worded in the United States Constitution. It says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That just means that as a citizen of the United States of America, and there are more specific rules as you get into the amendment, you must be 18 years or older, and you must have a license to own a firearm. But this basically is saying anyone 18 or older that is a citizen of the United States of America has the right to own a firearm. Now, it doesn't mean everybody does. It just means that we have the right to. Okay, that's what that means. So for your first body paragraph, you're going to introduce your amendment by defining it. And you can copy and paste this. Now, here's the thing. You're going to say something in your paragraph like, according to the United States Constitution, the Second Amendment states, comma, quote, and then you paste it in there. And then you give reference to where you found that quote, which is constitutioncenter.org. So it's going to look something like this here. And this one was the Fourth Amendment. So this one is worded a little bit different, but you can start by saying, according to the United States Constitution, by the way, that is a number 2 opener, so you can use that in your first body paragraph. Says the Fourth Amendment states, comma, quote, and here it is that I copied and pasted. This is the Fourth Amendment, so it's a different one, but pasted in there in quotation marks. And then do you see at the end here, I have in parentheses, constitutioncenter.org. That is how you cite a direct quote from a website. Okay, does anybody have any questions right now about what I'm talking about? You guys are good? Okay, and I'm recording this. If you're like, wait, what did she say? Well, fast forward to this part and you can listen to it again. Okay, then if I go back to where I was a minute ago, let's say you're doing the Second Amendment. A couple of you are using a Second Amendment. There's always going to be underneath that interpretations and debate. So if you go to your amendment, I know some of you are doing First Amendment. There will be a list of these. This one only has one, but choose the first bar, okay? The first one that says interpretations and debate. When you select it and scroll down, like this one for the Second Amendment, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, the first maybe 7 paragraphs are about the history of the Second Amendment. So if I start reading here, it says modern debates about the Second Amendment have focused on whether it protects a private right of individuals to keep and bear arms. By the way, arms is firearms. That's what that means. Or a right that can be exercised only through militia organizations like the National Guard. This question, however, was not raised until long after the Bill of Rights was adopted. So here it's talking about the founding generation believe that governments are prone to use soldiers to oppress the people. So it's giving you some background about the Second Amendment. This is where you're going to get your information for Roman numeral 2, about the background and about how the Second Amendment came about. Any questions so far? Okay, so Roman numeral 2 on your outline, you're focusing on the amendment, how it got established. See how down here it says like this massive shift in power from the states to the federal government generated one of the chief objections to the proposed constitution. And it tells you who was against it and how it came to what it is today. Talks about, because it was written in 1791. Much has changed since 1791, and it's telling a little bit about that. So you have a lot of paragraphs to go through to find out about the amendment that you're going to write about. So here's another idea. But I will say this, and I'm going to let your parents know. Ask them first about this next thing I'm going to tell you, because some families do not want anyone using ChatGPT. It's like a really popular tool right now. Some families are totally against it, and that is okay. I am not here to debate that, okay? If you check with your parents and your parents are like, okay, I don't mind if you use Chat GPT, you can do that with them. What you can do is copy some of these paragraphs that maybe you don't quite understand what they're saying, because some of these paragraphs have a lot of legal language in them that it's like vocabulary that we don't hear very often. If you copy that and paste it in Chat GPT to help you understand it, that's okay with me. Here's the warning though. Chat GPT is just a tool. It is not a source. So you don't want to use Chat GPT to write your paper. That would be cheating. Okay. We all know that there's people out there that do that. Do not do that. You're using Chat GPT to understand language that maybe you don't quite understand in these Supreme Court cases. So hopefully that helps you, Reagan, because that was kind of your question earlier, like, how do I make sense of all of these paragraphs? I do want you to try reading them, okay, and read them. Ask your parent some of these, because some of the paragraphs you'll understand. Some of them are pretty easy to understand. Some of them are not. So if you get to a paragraph, you're like, I'm not even sure what they're saying here, copy and paste it, if it's okay with them, into Chat GPT to help you understand it. Okay, so okay, I see that note, Tyler. So Chat GPT is actually a free tool, but check with your grandma, your parent, check with whoever's doing your homeschooling before you go
Yeah.
Chat GPT.
What I'm saying is I don't even have it, so I don't really need to worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have it and I'm not allowed to use it, and my parents don't even use it.
Okay, so don't even use it. You'll just have to sit down with them and ask them, how can you help me understand what this means? Okay, because they'll help you understand that. If you don't have access to Chat GPT, that's okay. Ask your parent. That'll be fun. Say, okay, mom, what does this mean actually? And she'll be like, let me think about that. It's a lot. And it is kind of confusing, some of it, but okay. So let me go back to our outline here that we're setting up. Just to be clear, this first body paragraph is all about the amendment, like the history, like when it was written and what led to them amending this constitution and what was it used for. Basically, background to the amendment itself. We're not even talking about the case yet here. Okay, you're focusing on the amendment. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys, just the amendment here. Then Roman numeral 3, this is your next body paragraph. In a court case, there are two sides, as you already know, and there's a V in the middle. It's these two sides are battling each other, right? One side is the side that is suing the other side. The person or the state or the company, whoever it is doing the suing, they are called the plaintiff. That is the name of the person or group that is doing the suing. So for number 3 here, I want you to write plaintiff. And if you need to make a note in the margin here, you can draw a little arrow. You can put doing the suing. That way you know that's what plaintiff means. It's the one that is doing the suing. Did I spell suing right? No E. I spelled that wrong. It's just S-U. See, I struggle with spelling still. You guys know that. Suing, S-U-I-N-G. So it could be they're suing for money. It could be they're suing for rights. It could be they're suing for some reason. Okay, so the plaintiff is the one doing the suing. They're suing the other person. So in your case, like District of Columbia v. Heller, so you would have to look at the case and start reading it to decide which side is doing the suing, because sometimes it's on one side of the V and sometimes it's on the other side of the V. You have to just look to see who's suing who. in that case, I happen to know that it's Heller suing the District of Columbia. So in that case, this paragraph would focus on Heller, because start there, because that's what's initiating the lawsuit. That's either the group or the state or the person. Any questions about that, the plaintiff? And this is also where you're going to, and I'm going to put in parentheses here, introduce, I know I'm putting more than 3 words here. Actually, I'll just put 2 words. Introduce case. So you're just going to start off by introducing the name of the case and who the plaintiff is in the case. Okay. Any questions so far? I know this is kind of new to you guys. This is like pretty high level research. Okay. You guys, this is good practice. I know you're pretty young for this, but when you guys get into high school, you're going to be like, this is going to be familiar to you, because this is the process of digging through the internet and finding information and putting it down in concise words and with a format. You guys are having a chat in here. Okay. All right, so let's look at, I'll just pick Tyler's case to look at. And I'm going to pull up that case on OYES. So if you have your link for OYES for your own case, go ahead and pull up your case, because I want to make sure everybody's able to do that. Let me search for this one here. I'll share my screen. Obviously, everybody's case is different. We already know that. We already figured out what case everybody's going to work on. If you go to OYES, your link on OYES, remember I showed you this last week. This is like a database of all the Supreme Court cases in here. So you can go to oyes.org and search in the search bar. But you can also go to your Google Doc that has your link on it right there. So this is District of Columbia v. Heller. When I scroll down and you scroll down on yours, you should see facts of the case. This is kind of like basically a summary of what the case is about. This one has to do with a person, Heller is his last name, who wants to own his own firearm for personal reasons. But he's also, I believe he's also a police officer. So he has a firearm, a handgun as a police officer, but he wants to have his own handgun, personal handgun at home for himself. And Washington, D.C. or District of Columbia said no, that he cannot have his own handgun. I'm putting it in really simple terms. It's more complicated than that. So Heller decided to sue the District of Columbia and say, hey, that violates my Second Amendment right as a United States citizen to have my own personal gun at my own home. That was the case. That was the reason for the case. If I come down here to the question, everybody's Supreme Court case has a question. And that question is the driving force in the case. The goal is for the court to answer the question. So I want everybody to look on OYES at their own case and look for the question. Give me a thumbs up if you see a question for your own case. All right, so everybody go to oyes.org or to your link in your Google Doc. Look up your case, look for the question. And once you find it, give me a thumbs up. Okay, good. Some of you are giving me thumbs up. That's good. Okay. As you're looking, keep looking. Let me know if you guys need help. I'm going to go back to our outline because after you introduce the case and the plaintiff, I'm going to put this in parentheses right here. This is where you're going to put the question. And it's going to come from oyes.org. And you're going to introduce that and say, in this case, the court was searching for the answer to this question. And then you can copy and paste the question there. And you're going to quote from oyes.org for this one. See how you quoted up here for Constitution Center? In fact, I'm just going to circle that up here. And I'm going to circle oyes.org here. So don't forget to reference where you got those quotes. I'm going to check in with you guys. I saw Reagan and Tyler give me a thumbs up. Abby, were you able to find the question for your case? Okay, good. Ryan and Ramsey, how about you guys? Are you able to find the question? Okay. How about you, Dominic? Should be on
I haven't
Oyes.
chosen one yet.
Okay. That's okay. You might have to do that part later. The rest of this second body paragraph is going to be talking about the plaintiff and the case and the question. And you're going to explain why the plaintiff is suing. Try not to talk about too much about the defendant yet. You probably will need to mention the defendant here because you're going to talk about the case will have the defendant's name in it. And you can mention it here, but your focus is the plaintiff here. That is your focus on this paragraph. Why is this person suing? What happened? What are they looking for? What do they want to do with it? Okay. Any questions about either Roman numeral 2 or 3 so far? Okay, good. I'm either doing an excellent job explaining this or everybody's lost and nobody wants to admit it. Let's hope it's the first one. But like I said last time, if you guys have a burning question for me between now and next week, have your parent text me. Every one of your parents has my cell number, okay? It's okay for them to text me and be like, we need help. We're not sure where to find the question, or we're not sure who the plaintiff is, or we're not sure. So it's okay. Sometimes I'll be in class, but I will respond quicker by text than by email. Am I glitching right now? For some reason, I feel like I'm glitching. That's weird. All right. Whoa, my camera is going so slow right now. This is weird. Why is it doing that? Okay. For number 4, you're going to put defendant. The defendant is the other side of the case. It's the one being sued. Let's put a note here. The one being sued. And you're going to put information here in the third body paragraph about the defendant and what is their stand in the case. So remember the plaintiff is the one doing the suing, so there's a reason why they're suing. And then the defendant is the one trying to defend what they think is right. Now, I don't want you to tell the result of the case in this paragraph yet. You're going to save it for here. Okay, now I seem like I'm on track with my camera now. That was weird. So I just want you to put in parentheses under conclusion the result of the case. So don't talk about the result yet. You're going to save that till the end. Yes, Tyler?
I just wanted to say, right as you said you felt you were on the spot with your camera, on my end, it just went so bad, like really fast across the screen.
It's so weird. I don't know what's going on today with the internet. Maybe it's the clouds outside or something. Who knows? So as you guys are writing this, you're going to use those 3 main websites from your Google Doc that you filled in. So Constitution Center, OYES, and Justia. Now, Reagan was mentioning earlier that she couldn't find the case on Constitution Center, right, Reagan? You couldn't find the case on there?
I had to find a couple of different cases because there's one case that I couldn't find at Constitution, and then the one that I did find at Constitution, I couldn't find at Justia, or I couldn't find at Oh Yes, or you just have to find one that has all 3 of the links. So before you pick one and study it, make sure it has all 3 of the different links that go with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for that. And here, I'm going to open a new tab. Woohoo! Got lots of tabs. We can look up here on Google, like for example, yours, Reagan, is Kennedy v. Bremerton. And just go straight to the case, right, on Google. And make sure you guys check with your parents before you just start going on Google. But you'll see OYES. If you couldn't find OYES the other way, you'll see it here. But there's also other links here like this one, supremecourt.gov. If I click on that, this is literally the script, the actual typed summary of the case. You can use this as a source, okay? It's going to be kind of tricky to understand parts of it anyway. So you can use this as a source. I'm going to go back to my Google search. There's also this one, SCOTUS blog. I wouldn't pick a blog. Not Wikipedia. Do not pick Wikipedia. This one is a good one, Education Commission of the States, School Prayer and State Policy. You can look at this one, giving a summary of, in a 6-3 decision, ruled in favor of Kennedy. So you can use that site if you need to. Now, you guys, if you use different sites, I'm okay with that. Here's how you know if it's a decent site. If there's not a ton of pop-ups, it's an okay site. Other than Wikipedia, don't use that one. But if you notice on this one called Education Commission of the States, as I'm scrolling, there are no pop-ups. There's some links at the bottom, which you won't need to use. But there's not pop-ups saying like, lose 100 pounds in 2 days, stuff like that. Whenever you see stuff like that, get out of that website. That's definitely not going to be one you want to go to. All right, here's one, congress.gov. That one would work if you needed another website. But I want you to make sure you keep track of what sites you use and put them on that Google Doc. You can add space to that Google Doc and add more links if you use more links on your paper. But the reason why I want you to keep track of those links is because you will make a bibliography at the end. So make sure you keep track of those. Any questions right now? Okay. So we still have a few minutes left of class, like 9 to be exact. So I'm going to give you a minute to start working on Roman numeral 2 about the amendment. Everybody should be able to find that on constitutioncenter.org. So I'm just going to let you work on that. You've already got a spot for introducing the case and the question. Now I want you to start reading those paragraphs and looking for the background of the amendment, okay? And start taking some notes, your keywords on your outline, numbers and symbols, abbreviations, those are all free like usual, okay? Reagan?
Okay, I have 2 questions. First off, how many paragraphs are we doing this week? What is this week's assignment?
Okay, good question. This week, and by the way, the website you put in the chat, it's constitutioncenter.org,
Sorry.
and it doesn't have pop-ups, by the way. So you know. Your assignment this week is to finish Roman numeral 2, Roman numeral 3, and Roman numeral 4, and write 3 paragraphs. Okay? Those are your body paragraphs.
The body paragraphs and the Roman numeral, so all the paragraphs basically.
There's going to be 5 paragraphs, so you're not doing the introduction and conclusion yet. We're not doing those yet.
Yeah, you're right. So you're just writing the 3 body paragraphs.
Yes, the 3, but you got to finish this first so you can write your paragraphs. Okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to finish the outline, Roman numeral 2, 3, and 4, and then write, using the outline, you're going to write 3 paragraphs.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And by the way, I'm going to assign a checklist to this assignment. I will attach it to your Google Doc. It's going to be from your binder, but I'll show you which one you're going to use as a checklist. You're still going to have your 6 dress ups, your openers. I think you have, I don't know how many openers you got, but you got to use your openers. You got to use your top of clincher. All of that's still part of it. Okay. I will attach that to the Google Classroom. Okay, so I'm still going to give you a few minutes to look on constitutioncenter.org at your amendment. Start taking down some notes here, keywords about the background of the amendment, okay? If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to just wait right here for a minute. Yes, Abby.
Can I have edit access to my thing so that I can type in the new link?
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'll do that with everybody's here.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, you should be able to refresh your screen. It should allow you now. I haven't put a grade on there yet, but I'll do that later. Okay. Ryan and Ramsey, I sent you a chat note privately. Okay, I see that. Okay, you're welcome. All right, you guys, it's already 12:30. So like I said, I know this is new. This is a new thing to do, a new way to research, a new words, new concepts, new everything. You got this, all right? You'll figure it out. It'll start making sense the more you read it. Check with your parent, whoever does your homeschooling. Let them help you understand it and reach out to me through text, through your parent or grandparent or whoever you have helping you. Um, and I can either do a one-on-one Zoom with you later, or I can help through text or email, whatever you guys need. Okay. You got this. So next week, 3 paragraphs after you do those outlines. And then we're going to do the introduction and conclusion. It's interesting. I hope you guys enjoy some of it. I know it's still work, but this has to do with our country. This has to do with everything, our government, our laws. So it's pretty cool. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Good job, everybody. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.